What is going on, everyone? This is Eric coming at you from just outside of Hartford, Connecticut. And today we're going to be discussing the Mike Wallace trade, which occurred back on March 13th in the year 2015. Now, this was a trade between the Minnesota Vikings and the Miami Dolphins that saw Minnesota finally get their hands on Mike Wallace, a player who they had tried to sign 2 off seasons prior. This time, though, they got him via trade in exchange for moving down 83 picks in the 2015 draft. So basically, the backstory to this is Wallace seemingly wanted his way to Miami. Like I said, Minnesota had wanted to sign him 2 off seasons prior, but the Dolphins beat them to the punch due to their climate and the fact that Wallace wouldn't have to pay income tax in the state of Florida. So it made sense for him. Now, after Wallace essentially benched himself in the 2014 regular season finale, the Dolphins decided he was not worth the just under $10 million he was going to be getting, so they were more than happy to trade him. Now, this video will not be discussing the draft pick trade in which Wallace had been acquired by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 2009 draft. That will be linked in the description below. It was discussed as part of the Tim Tebow trade. So without further ado, let's start with this video. So we'll look at the Minnesota Vikings first, and they got two assets here. The first of which is, of course, wide receiver Mike Wallace. Now, Wallace started off in a solid game, but all said and done, Wallace didn't play all that well in the 2015 season. But this wasn't necessarily his fault. Minnesota at the time was anchored by Adrian Peterson, so as a result, they ran an extremely run-heavy offense, which limited the amount of targets Wallace would get. He had the lowest amount of targets, catches, yards, and touchdowns in his career up to that point in the 2015 season. As a result, the team decided that enough was enough. They didn't want to pay him the $10 million, so they released him for cap relief. So not the best. Now, they also got the 232nd pick in the 2015 draft. They would use this to select a linebacker, Edmund Robinson. Now, Robinson spent 2 years as a special team player before he was cut by the team. Not the best trade for the Vikings, but it was worth the risk. So how did the Dolphins do? So they got themselves the 149th pick in the 2015 draft. They would use this to select running back Jay Ajayi. Now, Ajayi would miss the first half of his rookie season with broken ribs, but across 9 games as a rookie, he was just mediocre. Now, he had a rough start to the 2016 season, as he was originally named a starter, but then the team brought in Arian Foster, who took the starting role, and Ajayi was noticeably upset with this, so he ended up getting benched for week 1 because he kind of publicly trashed the Dolphins for it. He's like, come on, why'd you do that? It's dumb, I was a starter, you promised it to me. Now, despite the early season hiccups, Ajayi did break out in 2016, recording 260 carries for 1,262 yards and 8 touchdowns. All of those stats were career highs for him. Now, he did have some bad luck to start off the 2017 season. He was the only running back to have over 100 carries, he had 138, without scoring a rushing touchdown. Now, with the Dolphins seemingly not going anywhere in 2017, they decided to trade him away at the deadline. All said and done for the Dolphins, he was a one-time Pro Bowler. For 2.5 years, though, that's pretty solid. Now, they sent him to the Philadelphia Eagles in exchange for a 2018 4th-round pick. This pick would become the 131st overall selection and would be used to select another running back in Kalen Ballage. Now, Ballage himself, he spent 2 years as a backup running back in Miami. Over that time, he would register 110 carries for 326 yards and 4 touchdowns. Now, after this, the team, they didn't need him on the roster, so they attempted to trade him, but Ballage, he failed the physical for the team that he was going to be traded to, and as a result, the Dolphins were like, all right, you know what, that's fine, and they just cut him. Not the best pick, could have been worse. So that's how Minnesota Miami did. How did Philly do? So they got running back Jay Ajayi, and Ajayi served as a solid part of a running back committee for the Eagles in 2017. He ended his half season with 406 yards and a single touchdown on 70 carries for the Eagles. Now, he did get mocked a bit for getting caught by Dallas defenders on a breakaway run. He should have been able to score, but his speed wasn't there. Dallas caught him. His teammates mocked him. Madden knocked him. Everyone just kind of made fun of him for it. Now, he had a solid postseason, and he did decent. Now, he had a decent start to the 2018 season, but unfortunately for him, he would tear his ACL in a Week 5 game, which obviously ended his season. Now, he came back towards the middle of the 2019 season, but he struggled in 3 games, and then he ended up getting cut by the Eagles. So all said and done, this isn't the most important trade in the world, but Wallace was at one point one of the best receivers in the game. Jay Ajayi went on to win a Super Bowl. So it's worth discussing. Hope you guys enjoyed this. This was the Mike Wallace trade. Have a good rest of your day.